Good morning, everybody. It is March 20th, gosh, is it March 20th already? Holy cow. March 20th, 2016. And it is a Tuesday. One moment. Okay. We had some nice activity. Sunday we had a great amount of movement, all right? Big moves going into a kind of a wild direction, and then we had we had a lot of news coming out yesterday during the Brexit stuff, and now we're kind of calmed down from that, and we got to look at what's moving ahead in our markets right now. Yesterday we only had a few trades to look at. The euro, we wanted to go short at 123.15, and where are you at? 123.15. That is around the 618 retracement. It got there, or rather, it stayed above it, and then it came back down overnight. So if you had a resting order, that got hit, and that is in the nice profit area. The euro pound, we have, one moment. Euro pound, we wanted to go short at a pullback to the baseline of 87.9. And did we get that? So we were talking yesterday. Here's where we were talking. Did we get a pullback to 879? Certainly we did. And that was the perfect area to get short again, because we really just kind of hovered around here, and we fell back down into the 87.70. So, we're about 20 pips into that trade, which is fantastic. UCAD, Loonie, we wanted to go long again at 131. Well, we went back up, but then we have fallen back down. And where are we sitting now? We are sitting inside the hourly cloud, the conversion line, which is the blue line, and the baseline, which is the red line. That is inside the cloud as well. And the lagging span is below candlesticks, and we're trading in a consolidative range right now. And the cloud in front of us is red. So I would not stay in my long here. I actually did not get in this trade yesterday. Not because I didn't want to. It's just I just totally missed it. Now, looking at the cloud here and the cloud here, this is a thin red cloud we've got forming up here. This is indicative of just consolidation. Doesn't mean a trend is going to reverse, but we want to be looking out for opportunities to re-enter long here, or to look for opportunities to go short, because we are entering what we could be considered some type of breakout trade. All right, so let's keep our eyes on that. The other trade we had was the gold dollar. And the gold dollar, we wanted to go short at a pullback to the baseline, or wanted to go short at a pullback to 13.15. Now, we got that very nicely yesterday. We actually kind of excelled beyond it, but remember I was talking about, where's our stop when we're using the Ichimoku, and the stop is above the cloud. And so price did not pierce the cloud. We got filled, and we are returned back down. Now, where did price find resistance? It found resistance at the top of the cloud here. And what is price doing currently? Well, once it found resistance, it traded down, and then it stayed below the conversion line, before it finally falling across the base. And when it finally fell across the base and it closed below it, you know, this is what you kind of want to do when you see a situation like this, is when you see the first candlestick close below the baseline after the conversion line is crossed down, that's usually a good entry area. So, you know, it doesn't really meet the criteria for continuing short because but we're not looking to enter a new short from here. We're just holding on to that fill that we got. So it's fine to be holding it because right now, you know, what are our conditions? Our conditions are that price is below the cloud. The conversion line is below the baseline. We would ideally like to have these lines down below. And the lagging span, while it's in between the candlesticks, so that's not really a great sign, but if we start to move lower, the lagging span will push down below as well. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking to see some continued bearish movement here. And yeah, that's that. Now let's take a peek at the dollar yen pair. What was our trade here? We wanted to go long at at 106.15, and we got that overnight, and we've been trading up here very nicely. You know, there's been an area around 106.3 that has been holding as a very staunch line of resistance over the last couple weeks. And now we have finally breached that. We're a little above 106.5 right now. And on the hourly, we have all of our buy conditions met. All right, so what are our buy conditions? Is the cloud in front of us green? Yes. Is price above the cloud? Yes. Is the conversion greater than the base? Yes. And both those lines are out. And the lagging span is above the cloud. So now we're looking at, if you missed the entry, where do we get back in on a pullback? Couple areas. We've got the conversion, the base, or the cloud. You know, for right now, we probably want to look at a pullback down to the base for a re-long entry. So we'll just kind of wait to see how that plays out. But let's look at let's look at crypto markets real quick, and then we'll go back into Forex. Bitcoin holding up pretty nicely, actually. You know, it has not traded down below the 8,000s. Found support on this harmonic of 83.33, and now it's looking like we have more supportive buying bias again on Bitcoin. Litecoin equally bullish. Consolidation here. Ethereum is the worst thing on the planet. It is a laggard of laggards. It is horrible. Okay. Dollar index shooting up. Shooting up. And let's take one more peek at gold here. Let's start off with gold. So, looking at gold using we're using the Ichimoku system, and we have a short entry from yesterday. But if we want to re-enter short, where are we going to want to re-enter? Well, we're going to want to wait to see where how this is going to play out as we go on. We would ideally like the conversion in the baseline to be below the cloud, so we would know where to enter. Because right now, because the lagging span is within the candlesticks, and because we are just exiting the cloud after a pullback, and we're not seeing a bunch of staunch, you know, drop down here, and we're not in a great selling position, pretty much, you know, looking to take profit on this trade or to hold. Because I don't see a trade right now right in front of us. If I want to look at the 4 hour and the 8 hour, what am I seeing? Okay, well now this is different. This is why I like putting up the 4 and the 8 hour clouds, because it kind of gives me a hint of what's going on. Because as I look at this, let me hide these. This is the 4 hour cloud. Okay? And look at the lagging span of the 4 hour cloud. This is the lagging span. We just got below the cloud here in gold. So to me, that is a bearish sign. So we may be looking at a pullback that exceeds our 1 hour re-entries for short conditions. If we look at where we're at in relation to the 8-hour cloud, more bearish sentiment. Why? Well, the lagging span is below the 8-hour cloud. We found resistance in the bottom of the 8-hour cloud. So we do have a lot of bearish bias yet here. Looking at gold in relation to our square of 144. We've been observing this price action for months now. We have been trading this activity for a long time. Those of you who've been with us for a while, this is not new to you. We've seen this, we've observed this, we've watched and analyzed how these levels play out and how accurate they are and how strong price seems to respond to them. Very, very big deal right here is that gold on the daily has fallen below the 1316.22 and it has held down there so far. However, we're looking a little inverse head and shouldery here. And it looks like we're catching a bit of a bid. We're getting similar lower structure in our composite index on the hourly. So, anticipating a pullback to 1316.20, compare that to where we are now, 1316.20 on the hourly. Yeah, that'd bring us back to about where the baseline is at, little above the base. So, it's not a clear trade to me, so I'm not looking to trade this right now. I'm really not. The euro. So, the euro, and I want you to take a peek at one level here. Why is that? These fib lines we have got going here. This is the retracement of the current swings. So this is from the 13th to here on the hourly, but if I want to bring it back to the daily, oh yeah, that's what it was. Give me a second here. This is why I don't like fib levels that much, because you can just get so many forms of differing views. Really on the hourly, the level that's really important that really doesn't get talked about is the 886 fib level. That is a powerful reversal zone, the 886. Okay, it's important in a lot of Gartley harmonics, a lot of those patterns that we see, and the 886 zone is very important for reversal zones. But these are the fib levels on the daily, where our retracements at from swing to swing. We are looking at right now we're sitting at the 382. Where did we get up to? We got all the way up to the 50 before we got resistance and the 618 over here. So we should expect to see some further retracement down. Now, looking at where we are in the cloud. I remember I was mentioning this yesterday that I didn't think that this rise would hold. I didn't think that this was a healthy move. It was too parabolic on low volume, all that jazz. And when there are parabolic rises, you get parabolic reversals. It's one of the only things that shows up like 100% of the time in the market. So, when we're looking at this here, what are our buying or selling conditions? We don't have many. We don't have many because we're inside the cloud. The lagging span is below the cloud. That's good, but it's not below price. Oh, wait, is it? No, it's not below price. It almost is. Where are we finding a little bit of bounce here? We're finding a little bounce on the bottom of this cloud here. And the conversion line is really equal with the base, but it's about to cross down. So the short entry, when we want to see the lagging span go below, you know, if we're anticipating that that has to show up if price is going to be down here, then actually entering short here, we actually have two short entries, you know. Oops. Three entry options. So we're looking really at a pullback to the top of the cloud or the base here at 123.16. Short at our current value of 22.85. Or we want to wait to get short at around 22.70. Okay. Conservative entry, aggressive entry, and safe entry. All right. Now, the dollar yen. Now, like I said, yesterday there are all sorts of conditions to be met for continuing bear trades. I'm not buying it because I have such a long viewpoint on this. Looking at the Ichimoku system and where we are sitting here, you know, we have this look at our value area. Where have we been finding a lot of resistance? At this swing here of the 0.618 zone, we've been finding a lot of resistance. So that's at really the 107 handle, a little bit below the 107 handle at 106.84. However, on the weekly, we're forming a rounded bottom and we are trending up. In the composite index, we are extremely oversold at this area. You know, if we imagine that there's a channel here, we do a parallel channel. Oh, if I draw it on the right spot. So we should be targeting, you know, really this 110 zone is kind of our target area. And then after that, we're looking at a breakout. I have a long-term forecast of the 120 area, just based on a harmonic Gartley pattern. Take a look here. UJ Weekly long target around 120 in September. This is the bias for it. This is a bearish shark pattern. Bearish shark pattern means that it doesn't become bearish until the pattern completes, and that's all the way up there. In which case we would have a big old drop here. So taking a peek here, if we fast forward and connect where we're at, we're still in that value area. But I am looking at a long-term hold here based on the weekly to continue up, but we should have some trade ideas going into it. So, you know, again, going back down to the hourly, where's my long entry here? I have a couple areas. That we could go long. Again, pull back to the base conversion line of the cloud. You know, really, we could just make it a little easier and say long at a pullback to the, you know, 106.3 zone. Because that's where our previous kind of resistance value area was. All right. How does that look with our other clouds? Where are we at? You know what? Let me get this channel out of here. We really don't need it. So we're inside the cloud on our 4-hour cloud. Lagging span is about to break out of the 4-hour. So that's good. And the 8-hour, we are inside of it. And the lagging span is below it. But we're trading off hourly. We have a long-term bias here, a long bias trade. On the hourly, we're pretty bullish. Look at this behavior. look at all these clouds, the 1, the 4, and the 8. We are in this really, really, really tight area here. So it's a very thin cloud on the 4, the 1, and the 8. Thin clouds mean not a lot of strength. So if there's a thin cloud above price, that means as price moves up to it, that cloud may not handle as resistance very well. It's going to be easier for price to shoot above it. Same with, price coming down to a cloud that is thin. That's not a very strong support area if the cloud is thin, right? Like this behavior right here. This flat line behavior is very strong, but the cloud itself is pretty thin, okay? It's not thick like this. This should be telling us something, that on the 8-hour, we were able to breach the bottom of this thick 8-hour cloud and the 4-hour. And then as time has moved on, as we look at these clouds, they thin out. So that is telling us that the momentum and the sentiment of traders to short the UJ has weakened considerably. There's not a lot of oomph to keep doing it. Okay? That's where the expert traders, that's where we've been accumulating. And I'm going to tell you, if any of you are part of the MAM account that gets traded at Forex Lens, part of the challenge of finding entries before everybody else does is taking those difficult trades. And I think people are really good at finding them. It's just they're not good at holding them. And I've noticed that when I look at my own trading account or the MAM account, and I had gotten a response back from one of the guys at Forex Lens where somebody was concerned about the existing trades, I was just kind of reminded that, that's true. People get a little worried about open positions and paper losses. Now, paper losses are trades that are in the negative, but they haven't closed. To me, a loss only happens when you close a trade for a loss. For instance, yesterday at one point, we had a negative $5,000 paper loss on the account. But overnight, as I was adding to these lower positions, the pound dollar trade's the one that's been affecting most of that trade, but the euro shorts that I had put in all closed into profit, and basically we've gone from that $5,000 paper loss when I went to bed at around 10 o'clock Central Time, and then when I woke up we were only like 1,500 down, and we were 3,000 down on paper, but then I closed about $1,500 worth of profits as we moved into the later morning, and took off some euro shorts and in profit, and some UJ longs in profit, short-term UJ longs, and have been holding on to the pound trades. And the point is that you have to have the balls to hold on to those kind of trades, because the entries are right, and short-term price movements should not affect your long-term trade strategy. All right, just because something in one day moves 100 or 200 pips against you, that should be a good hint that 100 to 200 pip move is not going to stay a 100 to 200 pip move, just like we saw on the euro. This drive up yesterday was not going to hold. That brings us down to the pound dollar. Now the pound dollar trade, having shorts exposed over here because they have a short bias on the long term with the dollar pound, is we had some losing positions here, but as I added up here, they were well into profit, so we're basically neutral here. But the pound dollar showing some weak. Look at this cloud. This is a very, very thin cloud, and we shouldn't anticipate the pound dollar having a lot of strength. The only reason why I'd probably exit is if we were to break above 141. Otherwise, totally comfortable sitting here. And one of the nice things about having when you have a bias set out for a long period, so like the UJ, we have a long-term bias based on the weekly. That determines, for the most part, our intraday trading, where we really only want to be looking for those pullbacks to take long positions and, you know, get in and out of those positions and have some hold for a long time. So, you know, the same with the pound dollar here. Where am I looking to re-enter short? I'm looking, well, I got to get back below the cloud here. I mean, I have shorts up here, but this is not going to, we're going to have the pound dollar is a beast. The euro dollar is a beast, but the pound dollar is just one that responds slower. So the euro dollar, while it's had its nice big response from this parabolic move, the dollar pound has not. The cable, we should anticipate this falling even more. And once we get below the hourly cloud, you know, we'll be able to look at some trades. There is some supportive areas here because we broke above the 4, 8, and 1 hour clouds all at once. So there is some caution about shorting based on that, but really looking at the strength coming in forward here, and because of our moon cycle and other things, you know, the time cycles trump the price action. So there's that. Now, taking a peek at the New Zealand dollar. We saw a nice retracement on the New Zealand dollar. It's well below this trend line, and we're probably looking at another short opportunity coming into here. Really, if we can get a pullback to the 72.14. Okay, that's a good zone to be looking at for shorting at a pullback, because that'll bring us back to the base of the cloud, above the conversion, and between the conversion and the base. So that'll be a good area to look at. Aussie dollar, we are exhibiting a little consolidative flatness activity going on here. That's a technical term, consolidative flatness. You know what? I want to take a peek at this related to our here's our my Gann setup. So really, if we zoom out here, we're ping-ponging around these arcs. It's not finding, you know, one way or the other. However, I'm going to guess, one sec here, let me pull this up. Because oh, 20% off. How about that? Hold on, let me blacken my desktop for a second, just because I don't want everybody to know my login and password. So, yeah, now we're good. Okay. In fact, I think this is my hedging account anyway, so. All right, so what was I looking at? The Aussie dollar. Yeah, we could be looking at a bullish shark there, but I was thinking more like, oops. Okay, never mind. Well, it's not there. Okay, never mind. Here we go. Oh, what do we got going on here? Did I miss some news stuff? Probably. Oh, Red Book, yeah. Guess not a big mover there for the morning. Consolidation here. The lagging span is inside, so we're looking at a break. So how do we trade this? We're coming up against the bottom of a cloud. It's a very thick cloud. We're conversion everything. We don't like to trade these areas, so we have to wait for a short where we can get below the 76.90. Okay, that's our short there. Euro pound. Okay, this guy. Just a wild mover, isn't it? You know what, though? The pound dollar. Let me go back there. We might... Could we? Do we? No. Not yet. We'll wait. No trade on that. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Ooh. Okay, so. We got to look at all these. When you see the 8 and the 4 hour and the 1 hour cloud like this, when the 4 is above the 8 and the 1 is above the 4 and the 8, this is indicative of a very strong trend. Okay? Dangerous to short this on the hourly just because we would get selling conditions on the hourly. We're looking for a deeper pullback. So I want to keep the hourly on, but I want to go to the 8 hour and see what's going on here. Now, what is happening? Think of the baseline like a point of control, which is down here. If I go from the swing to swing, point of control, which is down there, yeah. The Ichimoku also kind of gives us a overbought, oversold indicator with the baseline. And, you know, I don't know exactly what the ratio is, but you just kind of got to eyeball this, is that when prices really, really extended above the base, it's kind of like a rubber band is attached to it. When it pulls too far back here, it wants to snap back towards the baseline, okay? Or it's like one of those little like ping pong paddles with the ball on the string that you do this thing with. You know, because that's what people used to entertain themselves with many, many moons ago. Oh, God. Must have been boring back then. Or we just have too much things to stimulate us where we think that is boring. Probably that. Okay, looking at here, you know, we are above the conversion line on the 8 hour. Really, if I'm looking for a re-entry, I would probably like to get back in around the 129.70 zone. Four-hour chart, probably a closer entry at the 130.23. Yeah, that looks like a good one. $1.3020. That looks like a good zone. Good areas. Take a look at our other trades here. What's going on with gold? Gold kind of sitting around where we left it. Actually, it caught a bid there. The euro falling down even a little farther here as we're watching it. Dollar yen shaving a little off the top as we approach the 8 o'clock time here. Did I put in a trade for here? Okay, long to pull back down to 106.3. Okay, and the pound dollar catching more of a sell here. New Zealand dollar, kind of upset I missed a couple of trades on that one. I'm kind of frustrated with. Aussie dollar finding a little bit of support, but you know, we're really looking at that pullback to the 76.9 for wait, did I say 769? That can't be right. 769, do I mean 779? What was I looking at? Let me delete that. Oh, I meant delete for everybody. Oh well. There. Ignore that trade. That was first there. So, probably the 76. 779. I really don't know if we... Well, okay. You know what? Oh my gosh. I am thinking all sorts of the wrong things right now, that was right. Okay, now taking a peek at what else we got going on here. Aussie yen catching a nice little drive there. Aussie dollar, yen. Yeah, we could see something interesting there. Quick peek at our cryptos. Bitcoin catching a bit of a nice drive. Probably going to break out here soon. Litecoin as well, and Ethereum. Dollar index showing some little bit of weakness here. Probably going to experience some type of pullback, but strong nonetheless. Very accelerated conditions on the composite index. But yeah, we got some great trade opportunities in front of us. I like it. I like it a lot. Cool. Yeah, so we should have some good trades today. Had some good trades yesterday, and we should look forward to a pretty profitable week as we're going forward here. I think it's going to be pretty nice on this Tuesday. Yesterday I mentioned that if I saw some good trade opportunities, I put them on the portal. I really did not see a whole lot of great entries, but definitely throughout the day, check the portal because I do update it intraday if I see something that would be a good entry. So just be on the lookout for that. And in fact, this gold short, we might be looking at a... No, we won't. Never mind. Let's just look one more time over here at this. Let's see these zones. Gold, or no. Euro. Short, looking there good. Dollar yen above this pivot area, which is bullish. Finally, it's above it. The pound dollar broke below the 1.4. Maybe ping pong around here for a bit. New Zealand dollar below here. It's approaching the mid, so we should find some buying as we get lower there. And then the Aussie dollar finding a lot of movement and range trading in here. Because there's just that, structurally in this Gann square, we're just experiencing a whole lot of supportive and resistive, zones. Euro pound. Oh, well. That is a different story. We are sitting right on the inner mid. Now, this should provide some credence and evidence for the importance of these harmonic levels that are natural harmonic levels. They're not like whole price numbers. 87.76. That is a very important zone. This is going to be the hardest area for price to break down below. If price does bust through here, that's a big deal. That's going to be pretty bearish. What does this look like on the 4-hour? That's a selling condition on the 4-hour. I'm going to say we take a short here just based on that. In fact, I've got to get a short in on there right now too. Got it. Cool. All right. Well, those are the trades as we're going and moving forward here. Yeah. You guys have a great rest of your trading day. Have a good Tuesday. We had a good Monday. And I will visit with you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.